I think people want security.
Mm.
I know as a woman, I would like security.
Yes, yes.
And not in a, and I think people mix that up in um I think people mix that up in a financial sense,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say the three biggest things for me is like a security, a intimacy, um, and it was one more. I can't remember it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But security and intimacy, and that means me being able to tell someone something and it stay between us.
Of course.
Um, that I can share thoughts and feelings with you, and the vulnerability. That's what it was.
Yes. Oh, girl.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Being able, and I think that can go for both men and women.
Yes.
Being able to share something, and know that it's not getting back to anybody else. Being able to share something and it not being thrown in my face later
Mm-hmm.
because of how I feel at this moment. Um, and just the intimacy of it. Like I'm grateful for a very small group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, even on vacations and stuff, when I take vacations with my family, I love people that I have around that make me put my phone down. I don't have to have my phone around me
Yeah,
because I'm having such a good time in the moment of the people that I'm with.
that's right.
And I don't have to post about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to do that. I just have to enjoy what's happening now because the best times that I have, I don't have my phone with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned to do that and enjoy those times. But I heard I thought of something the other day and I posted it on somebody's Instagram. And the question was, what is it that you would like men to know? Women, what is it that you would like men to know about relationships? And I I put it and I totally believe it. I said, I think men think that women want a Superman.
Mm.
And I really believe that every woman can take a Clark Kent
Oh, yeah.
because Clark, let's look at Clark. Clark was dependable, he was
Mm-hmm.
reliable, he
Mm-hmm.
made sure that things were right, but Superman was inside of him all along.
That's right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Superman only came to save the day and leave. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying? He couldn't
wow.
stay. He couldn't stay the whole time. But
Yeah. You better
Clark
talk
had
about Kent.
but you get what I'm saying? But Clark was all of Superman and then some because he was there every day.
That is
And
true.
so if we that's another thing that comes into making sure that we're looking for the right package. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because
Yes.
you would look at Clark Kent. He had the
Some
glasses,
people
you
won't.
know what I'm saying? He wasn't the Superman. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look the physical physique or whatnot, but it was they were the two combined.
They were. I think that is so key because that talks about perspective that we talked about earlier, but living in realism and not in the fantasy aspect. And that's why I
Right.
love talking to you because as you were talking, I was just thinking like, what are three things that so and so, and you just came right out like, yeah, the three things. I'm like, this girl better get out of my mind because I was just thinking like, yeah, what are the three concepts and components? So I just love it. I love talking to you anyway. You know that.
I
But
know.
we were on the same page. I said, look at her, Lord. She in here. She's in here. She feel it. So, but I thoroughly enjoy that explanation because I do believe that sometimes men and women can have skewed views of what they believe they want, that they miss out on great opportunities that are before them. And I think that that is something that this whole virus actually brought out. That there was a guy that I know, and he said that one thing that he didn't realize is just how busy he really was with work. That he didn't realize that he had isolated like all of his friends, all of his family. And he said, I realized I want somebody. He said, I
Yeah.
never really knew that I had space for that person because I was always working, always doing da 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 da. But when everything sort of came to a pause, he was just like, I don't got nobody to talk to. Ain't nobody here. Like nobody
Ain't
I can
nobody at
relate
this
with.
house.
Yeah, so he was just like, that made me realize like I need to do more in my dating world and involvement and things like that, and really put family and friends in the right perspectives now, as opposed to just chasing after a dollar. Because there, oh my God, there's a country song that says "Buy Dirt." Now, okay, a lot of folks ain't listen to country, but in the song, the moral of it was that you need to make sure that your faith, your family, and friends, those are the things that's truly important to you, that you make time for those things. And so when y'all get a chance, go do type in "Buy Dirt" Long. I can't think of his
Okay.
name. What is his name? I can't think of his name, Jesus, but he got a friend that comes in with him and sing it. But "Buy Dirt," and it talks about taking those things that are seriously important to you and making time for it. Because when he sat down with an elderly gentleman that was like in his 80s, and he started talking to him and giving him wisdom, he was like, yeah, you can chase that dollar, but at the end of the day, that's all you got. Make sure you buy things, buy dirt, which was he was saying, buy land that you can own, a place that you can put your family at, and have like a fence that can go around this area saying this just belongs to me. Have things that are
Mm.
significant and important. So go check out Buy Dirt, y'all. But anyway, so I'm gonna ask probably one or two more questions, and I'm gonna roll over to my girl Constance again, because we talked about her concept about romantic novels sometimes are not realistic, and that was one thing I wanted to try the best to do with this book, is to have, of course, some of the fantasy components in there because everybody loves that, but you also want to have some realism in there that can connect, and that's sort of why this overall a novel discussion came about, because it's showing that the characters are elements of us. We can identify with them because they're going through real life situations that we see and face every day, whether they're ours or our family and friends, we can connect in that particular area. So for one of the things that Constance did, let's see. Do-do-do-do-do. All right, so there is a particular quote. It says, she was talking about the concept of women being afraid. Her friend was talking about the aspects of being afraid. And so one of the things that she said was that she had met this guy and they were vibing and connecting and things like that. And so when she was talking to her friend Trudy, she said that her dependency, her growing dependency on him never undercut the independence of herself. And
Say
I
that one more
think
time.
her growing dependency on him never undercut her overall independence. And I think sometimes women get afraid to some degree to connect with guys on certain levels because they feel like, now I'm gonna be super dependent on this dude, and it's gonna undercut all of this independence that I've gained, that I sort of cling to. This is a part of my identity of who I am. Do you believe a lot of women harbor that concept? Because you talk about the concept of vulnerability, because that's pretty much where you are. You're now being vulnerable, no longer standing on your own 2 feet. You're now leaning a little bit in somebody else's path when you connect in a relationship.